Mornings on 2 is hitting the road for a zip trip to American Canyon.
American Canyon is a gateway to Napa.
Gateway to Napa Valley.
But it's so much more than that.
All the old-timers like me are so happy to see these new people that love American Canyon.
Learn about this North Bay community through another round of Zip Trip Trivia.
Is there a canyon in American Canyon?
I haven't found one yet.
Any idea who that might be?
Not a clue.
And discover its hometown charm at some of the town's favorite hotspots.
People have come here with their grandparents, and now they come here as grandparents.
As Mornings on 2 takes you on a zip trip to American Canyon. Well, there is something to say about being in a small town, and we are in a great one today, surrounded by the beautiful rolling hills, 20,000 strong, the gateway to Napa Valley. Phenomenal weather, at least this morning, and a phenomenal community. We are in the 707, a little pocket they like to call American Canyon, alongside GARCIA, Michaeli, and everyone. I'm Mike Neback, and welcome to the 9, live from American Canyon. I was just talking to a friend earlier this week, GARCIA, my friend Brian, and he said, hey, what are you and the family up to this week? And I said, well, on Friday we're going to start it off at American Canyon. He said, you're going to the Grand Canyon. Why are you going to the Grand Canyon? I said, no, we're going to American Canyon. He's like, where's American Canyon? He lives in the Bay Area his entire life. He didn't know about it.
Oh, no.
So it's great to be here as we learn more about this wonderful city in the Bay Area.
I have been to American Canyon 100 times. Sometimes when I'm on my way up to Napa, and I think you and I are both lucky, we each have older siblings. And sometimes it can be hard to be in the direct shadow of an older sibling who does everything right, gets all the good grades, gets all the good jobs.
Got that vibe.
And so the younger sibling sometimes has a hard time shining, but American Canyon is shining. It's been working really hard, making great strides. They got their own high school several years ago, and we're going to see one of the products of American Canyon High School. The CAPPELLA group is incredible. We're going to share that with you. And you can see there's a ton of people behind us here at the park.
Well, on this Friday, we brought the usual suspects. Sal is up here. Look forward to his taste of the town. Also, Frank Malikuto is up here with his wonderful storytelling. Also, his Zip Trip Trivia, which is always a good laugh. Steve Paulson making his Zip Trip debut for us. So we're going to get to these three in just a bit.
And before we show you more of the sights and the sounds of American Canyon, let's focus on what this town is all about. So if you didn't know already, let's get to know American Canyon. Sitting on the southern end of Napa Valley, American Canyon is known as the gateway to Napa. But with its unique wetlands and picturesque parks and trails, the city has an identity all its own. Pioneer settlers first arrived in American Canyon in the 1850s to work on a railroad expansion, as well as a cement plant, which still stands today, and where plans for a new town center are in the works. The area was known as Napa Junction through most of the 1900s. It was incorporated in 1992 thanks to voters, and then Napa County Supervisor John Michaeli, widely considered the father of American Canyon. American Canyon is now home to nearly 21,000 people. Walmart is the city's biggest employer with 325 jobs. The city also has a large wine bottling industry with about 75 million cases bottled, corked, and shipped every year. American Canyon also boasts several big community events, including its 4th of July parade, which attracts hundreds of people every year. We have been here in American Canyon all through the morning, and we've seen a couple interesting things. We just saw the police mascot walk by, Lobo, and we've also seen a life-size R2-D2, so you really don't know what you're going to get when you're here in American Canyon.
R2-D2 came from a far place just to hang out on this zip trip on this Friday morning. Also, American Canyon police officers, ladder truck from the fire department is out here as another engine, so great to see them. There's probably a few hundred people in the park behind us. So is KTVU's Frank Malikuto. Let's check in with Frank to see what's going on. Hey, Frank.
Hey, I got to tell you, American Canyon knows how to party. They really brought it here. There's a good 200 or 300 people here. A lot of young kids. We got a bouncy house slide right over there. You just missed the tug of war. An American flag draped off one of the fire trucks here in American Canyon. Bubble machine. They've got food. The chamber's out here. A lot of their police force. And can I just say hi to Lobo? The police force is, there we go, with the pom-poms. Their mascot. I also have the cheerleaders from American Canyon High. And Angela, why don't you tell us about them real quick?
Well, this is the new 2019-2020 AC Cheer Squad, and they're here to show their spirit.
All right, how about it, ladies? I give you a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hit it.
You know it! You tell the story! You tell the whole wide world this is Wolfpack territory! 1, 2, Wolves!
What was that?
Good morning, Channel 2!
There you go. Come on down, folks. We got a party here in American Canyon. Back to you.
All right, Frank, we'll talk to you in just a bit.
We have been lucky enough to have a chat with the mayor earlier today, and he could not stop bragging on American Canyon's miles and miles of bike trails. We're just ahead of the 4th of July. There's a nice little fireworks hike that people in American Canyon go on, so there's a lot to do, and so much of that focuses on getting outside and enjoying what Mother Nature has made for you. In a minute, we're going to talk with the head of the American Canyon Community and Parks Foundation, and they have a simple message, and it's an important one. They say donate, volunteer, and spread the word. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what that means and how you can help do it with the head of the American Canyon Community and Parks Foundation a bit later here on this Zip Trip.
One of the things I love about this nonprofit is this year especially, they're really encouraging parents to get children to put down their screens and get outside and enjoy your city parks. I mean, I did it in my own city just yesterday. They wanted to play Xbox. I said, put it down. Yeah. We're going outside, grab your bats, grab your mitts. We're going to go play a little baseball. So that's what we did. So I look forward to talking a little bit about that.
I love it. So you know that Sal, you saw him earlier on Mornings on 2 in the studio. He is here in American Canyon with us. And Sal has had the very, very difficult responsibility of checking out the taste of the town. And I know, Sal, right now you're at Junction Brewery and Grill. You've had a chance to sample the wares and talk to the people there.
Yeah, where else can you, it's 9 o'clock, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and I have some of the beers that they make here sampled that they poured me out. A little later on, we're going to be talking to the brewmaster here, how he makes the beers, but you know what's incredible is we have been here, and we have people who have showed up. They showed up at 8 o'clock. Look at all these people we have here, right? So they showed up because they wanted to watch this live. There's music, live music, and there's a whole restaurant inside there. So the whole staff is here, and we also have you know, a lot of stuff coming up. So if you're in American Canyon and you want to stop by the brewery, well, come by and say hi. And we're going to have live music here too. So a little later on, I'm going to show you what there is to eat in this town. I think you're going to like it. Mike and GARCIA, let's go back to you.
All
right, Sal, look forward to it. Thank you very much. Right now, I want to bring in our meteorologist, Steve Paulson. Hello and welcome to the Zip Trip, Steve.
My pleasure. It's great to be here. And I was just telling you, too, this is a perfect day in American Canyon. It's a good thing we weren't here Wednesday, or I think we'd end up.
Really, because already I'm starting to sweat just a little bit.
It's a little warm, but I mean, it can windy here.
So what is the average? What's it like here? You said the average day is windy?
Average, I think, on the high side in June, it started off 78. End of the month, it's about 81. Okay. It can be windy. They're close to the San Pablo Bay, and it is a cooler part of the Napa Valley. So we're going to have a guest coming up in about 20 minutes who is familiar with this area, and my guess is they grow different varietals here. You know, more like a Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay versus a Cab. So it is a cooler part of the Napa Valley because it's closer to the bay.
And I know you're super familiar with American Canyon.
I am. I'm not far from here.
To give you a moment to brag on your region, what's your favorite thing to do here in town?
You know, it's a really friendly place. I had no idea it was, you know, you come through here, but you don't think about it.
Right.
But I'm guilty of that. You know, I've driven right up 29.
Well, if somebody's over on the peninsula in the South Bay, they may like, you know, like your friend Brian, you said, American Canyon, but I mean, if you've probably been through it, you just don't know it. Right. But the weather here is really nice. I mean, it runs cooler than, say, if you start going up the Napa Valley. But I found that they have a lot of plans here going forward. I found that out early, and I think there's a lot of good things happening. And the high school is amazing.
Yes, they didn't even have their own high school up until 2010.
Yes, I mean, the first time I drove by, I thought, oh my gosh, this is a junior college or something. But there's a lot going on, and I know they have a lot. When we talk to the mayor, I'm sure he'll fill you in on that. But weather-wise, I think it's a really kind of a cool climate, but it does get warm, but it never gets that hot.
And you say friendly. I agree with you. Everyone's friendly here that I've met. You know, we have a few hundred people. Even the mayor's wife has come out
with lumpia. She made
lumpias and brought us food already before we even came on air. So very friendly community. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
You got it.
All right.
Good.
Steve Paulson, very good. We're also, speaking of the mayor, we're going to talk with the mayor himself. Mayor Leon Garcia is joining us, along with the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. You think American Canyon is great now? Just wait until you hear the plans they have for this town. So we'll talk about that and more as our zip trip to American Canyon continues here on the 9. When I was in high school, Mike, PDA was frowned upon. Here in American Canyon, PDA is celebrated.
Look at you bringing out the laughter.
The sounds of American Canyon High School PDA, public display of a cappella, singing strong today under the tutelage of Jamie Butler. He's been heading up the group ever since American Canyon High School started in 2010. Before that, Mike, the students here had to get bussed up to Napa to go to high school. Now they have their own 1,600 students strong. Little Jackson 5, I want you back. What a great way to start this Friday morning.
They do sound good. A little PDA joke. Interesting, guy. You got to get GARCIA on these zip trips more often. I love it.
I'm a different person.
You'll be at Cobb's Comedy Club.
Well, I don't know about that.
All right, let's introduce a couple of our guests right now who have joined us here. She is the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, Mandy Lee. Welcome, Mandy. And, of course, the Mayor of this great city, Leon Garcia. Thank you both for having us, for hosting us in American Canyon. I'm not going to talk policy, Mayor, right now. I want to talk about party because we've got the 4th of July coming up. I heard American Canyon is a pretty hot spot to be for the 4th of July. What do you guys do?
Is it ever? This park behind us will be packed. The fireworks are straight overhead.
Straight overhead. And I heard if you don't want to do these, you can take a walk and you guys get together and you can see fireworks from all over the place.
Hike up in the hills up here. You can see the probably display from everything within sight of American Canyon. You know, our parade goes right down this street.
I love it.
You can put your...
And that's in the morning?
In the morning.
What time does that start at?
Around 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Put your lawn chair out in front of the house, watch the parade go by.
Now, are you that city that doesn't allow lawn chairs the night before? Like some cities say, no, they were going to ban that, or do you guys allow people to camp out a little bit early?
Well, folks start early.
Start early, get out. I'm with you.
Yeah, you
Go
know,
for it.
Come by and enjoy it. Yeah. It's loads of fun.
Mandy, can I talk with you as the Director of the Chamber of Commerce here? A lot of people might make the mistake of overlooking American Canyon as they're heading straight up to Napa and parts north.
Yes.
What do you say puts American Canyon on the map for someone who wants to experience something different than the crush of tourists on a busy Saturday all going wine tasting?
Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage them to stop at our Welcome Center first. It's the first Welcome Center on your way into Napa. There we help our visitors and our guests kind of stage their adventure. We encourage them to visit our restaurants because, you know, I know we're featuring some of our restaurants today. We have great food here in American Canyon. We have a honey farm that's also going to be featured today, I believe.
Right.
That's really exciting to see. And our wetlands and our nature preserves are just breathtaking. So I encourage people to get out, take a walk, especially during sunset over here on Wetlands Edge. It's the best spot in the county. Absolutely. I would even say the Bay Area.
Mandy, do you find it a challenge to get people here? Has it been a challenge?
Yes.
In your role, it is.
Yeah, it is. Because, you know, we're not known yet, and people don't really know what to do here. Yeah. So my job primarily is to boost the region with our businesses and on the tourist side of things. We just launched exploreamcan.com in October of last year. So we're really trying to get our story out there and told so people know what to expect and they know what to do when they stop.
You know, go ahead, Mike.
No, please.
Well, I was going to say, I was lucky enough, my little sister got married up in Napa 2 summers ago, and the whole family stayed in American Canyon because I'll be real, awesome. It was a little more reasonable than what we could find in Napa, and it was so easy and so accessible, and so we love the decision that we made together as a group. So, you know,
it's so close.
I don't know that, you know, 10 years ago we would have even thought about it, but right now it was a perfect choice for
I tell you what, I was in the parking lot getting ready for the broadcast, and a realtor came up to me and handed me one of those classic brochures, like trying to sell the house. Yeah. And it's a beautiful home up here. So I know you're expecting a lot of growth. Maybe you're planning for growth. But the one thing I'm curious about that as a parent is the education aspect of it in regards to, are you planning for more families to be here? And with that, do you plan to have more schools? How many schools do you have right now?
Well, you know, we have a middle school and 3 elementary schools and a high school. You saw that. The families move here because of the school, the quality of education. That's one of the big attracting
parts. Do you need more schools in the future?
As we grow, we will. Yes, we have a middle school that we passed a bond measure with Napa Unified School District. We're part of Napa and Yountville, the same. And we'll need to expand that as well. But yes, the quality of education, proximity to work, the amenities of this area, once you discover it, people come back and families want to stay here.
Let's talk a little bit more about the future and your redevelopment plans that you have for the main strip that goes through town. Let's fast forward 7 years. What can we expect to see?
Business.
lot of business. That's the we have a our PDA is a planned development area.
Right.
So it means it's more of a urban look at how we would build a future of American Canyon. Higher density housing, retail, near transit, and that's the whole length of the main Broadway, Highway 29 to American Canyon. That's probably going to be, well, Watson Ranch, we just passed that last night. Last council meeting, that packet was 1,500 pages. It's 1,253 houses. The basalt ruins, which I'm sure you're going to feature later, is going to be like an event center, something to draw the visitor in, and certainly amenities for American Canyon. It's really cool.
Let me ask you real quick before you go, what's your favorite thing about this city, Mandy?
The people.
The people.
Yeah.
The people.
Yeah. What about you, Mayor?
Absolutely the people.
The people.
It's community. I mean, look behind us. This is us.
That's phenomenal.
You know, this city is one of the most diverse cities in California. School survey said 38 different languages are spoken at home.
Oh, wow.
You know what's really cool about that? Think of favorite home recipes.
Right.
What's the food like?
The lumpia that your wife loves.
It's so kind. Well, thank you for what you do, both of you. Thank you for having us again and hosting
us. Thank you for being here.
You are throwing quite the party out here in this park, so we love being here.
Hey, come by 4th of July. It's going to be cool, too.
Absolutely.
All right, happy 4th. Happy early 4th. Mandy, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, still to come here on the 9. We're going to check back in with Frank Malicote. He has his classic Zip Trip Trivia, which will probably make you laugh, as it always does. Much more from American Canyon right here on the 9 after the break.
Hey, welcome back. We have taken our zip trip to American Canyon this morning on the 9. We're so glad you're with us, and we are far from alone. We have hundreds of people in the park here at the community park behind us. If you find yourself in American Canyon over the weekend, this is your itinerary. I will meet you at the outdoor movie tomorrow night at the Hilton Doubletree. I think they're playing Mamma Mia. It's free. And then my other favorite thing to do is to go to a farmer's market, and the American Canyon Farmer's Market is coming up on Sunday morning, so those would be my 2 picks.
How often do you go to the farmer's market?
Oh, I try to go every week.
Every week?
100%.
I hit one probably once a year.
Oh,
I do it
there's
once a
no
year.
better produce.
But I do like it.
Yes.
I should go more often. All right, let's get back to Frank Malicote right now and get a little taste of his Zip Trip Trivia. Hey, Frank.
Hey guys, we're about to do a tug of war. We'll get to that in just a moment. But what a party here in American Canyon. And as you heard, you know, the city is not that old. Incorporated back in '92, so 27 years young. Although they do have a rich history, both before and after. So we took to the streets to find out how much do American Canyons really know about their town. Welcome to American Canyon. This sign greets everyone as they drive through town on Highway 29. It also includes the town slogan, where your Napa Valley experience begins. But do people really know that?
American Canyon, there's a lot of cows here.
There's a lot of
Well, it says you're
happy to have you.
That would work for any town.
It's probably the patriotic heart of the Bay Area. Wrong. Oh, darn.
Welcome to wine country.
Close. Where is the canyon in American Canyon?
There is no canyon.
Why?
That was convincing, though, wasn't it?
That was good. Is there a canyon in American Canyon?
Of course there is.
Where is it?
Well, it's up there in the canyon. Have you been there?
We're looking.
I think it was a pathway through Napa, something like that.
I thought that was the slogan.
That's right.
I haven't found one yet.
No.
No.
Where did it come from?
Oh, they love the name. American, that sounds so good for the USA. Canyon, it's just beautiful here.
There are 30 of these across California, 7 in the Bay Area, and 1 insanely popular one right here in American Canyon. What is it?
A beer?
A beer.
Or ale?
How about a coffee drink?
Oh.
A Starbucks or Pete's.
Do you know what it is?
Tractor Supply.
Tractor Supply.
It is?
No.
Dunkin' Donuts. Has to be.
It is.
Of course it is. We're standing right in front of the Don place.
He played 22 years in the big leagues, over 2,700 hits, played for the Dodgers, the Sox, and the Cubs, born in Vallejo, high school in Napa, but he grew up in American Canyon. Who is he?
Drysdale, maybe?
Don Drysdale?
Yeah.
No.
Well, at least I guessed.
Frank Malzone.
Frank Malzone. Good Red Sox, but wrong answer.
Okay. Is he the guy that where the ball went under his glove and stuff?
Oh, that hurts. And what was his name?
What's his name? I don't know.
Bill Buckner. He was a fabulous player, and too many people remember just that one play.
American Canyon High. Do you have any idea what their mascot is?
It's got to be the eagle.
No, it's not.
Maybe a heron?
A heron. The mighty herons.
Right.
A bird? Am I close?
No.
A rat?
A rat.
Oh, well.
Oh,
yeah.
That was easy. Because you still go there.
Yes.
I had to find a high schooler to know the Wolves. All right, we are ready to do the big rope off here. I got Team Roper. You guys ready? Yeah! Tug of war over here. How about Team Awesome? I got my money on these guys, but look out. I think they're going to win. Here we go. Richard, let it on us.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right. Come on. All right. Team Awesome. Team Awesome's looking good. We got a little fill in. Come on, guys. Wow. Team Awesome. Can they do it? Can they do it? Wow. This is... I think we're going to have to call this one a draw. But nice job, guys. There you go. Well,
that's great.
Now everyone's down. All right, guys.
I love it. What a great way to start a Friday morning. A little tug of war on that. You know?
Yeah. Good old-fashioned fun, right?
Good old
I've been learning so much about American Canyon in just the time that we've been here. One thing that I learned about American Canyon that you're going to immediately recognize, you know when you go to P.F. Chang's, they have those giant horses, they're like 11 feet tall.
In the front, right?
Up in the front, outside every P.F. Chang's across the country. Guess where those are made?
In this little city called American Canyon.
Really? Yes. So every P.F. Chang's horse is made here in American Canyon and then sent out to the restaurants
Good
across the country.
knowledge there, guys.
I had no idea.
I had no idea either.
Yeah.
All right, still to come right here. We've got plenty to talk about. You're talking about P.F. Chang's and food.
Right.
We know there's a pretty good brewery in town that Sal's been talking about, so we're going to dive into that a little bit more. We also went to a pretty good bakery called Le Paris. There you go, right? We're not just talking about desserts and stuff. I mean, they have some pretty good sandwiches he's going to talk about. So plenty more to come. You are watching The 9 live from American Canyon.
Say you want a revolution, well, you know, we all want to change the world.
The Beatles did this song, Mike, before these kids were born. And here we are in American Canyon listening to the gorgeous sounds of American Canyon High School's a cappella group, PDA, Public Display of A Cappella. Hearing some Beatles, we've heard some Belinda Carlisle, we've heard some current popular music. It's incredible, and all under the tutelage of Jamie Butler. He is the leader of the a cappella group. He actually went to school in Napa, and he taught in Napa for a while, but what brought him to American Canyon is the fact that they started up their own high school back in 2010, and he said, you know what? I want to be part of a revolution here in American Canyon, and so he jumped at the chance to be the first to have an a cappella program at American Canyon
great. You
High
want to be the
School.
roots of something,
yes,
right?
And you
want
to make something, and so that when these kids graduate and when their own kids come back and go to school here, they can say it all started under Jamie Butler. I could listen to this all day.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah.
Great to have him on board for
Very
this
good.
trip. All right, let's get back to KTVU's Sal Castaneda for a little taste of the town. He's over there at the brewery in town. Hey, Sal.
Hey, Mike Garcia, you know what? I came up to American Canyon. I was looking for a place to eat because that is my very tough assignment. It's called Taste of the Town. And while I'm going to talk about the burger they make here a little later on, let me show you what I found when I came to American Canyon and had a taste of the town. You may have seen this place on your way to Napa and never gone in. It's called the South Kelly Grill. The familiar rustic red building has been here for decades. Once inside, you can grab a stool at the counter or a seat at the table and settle in. There's hot coffee, eggs, waffles, bacon, pancakes, all coming out hot and fast from the busy kitchen. The locals here rave about the quality of the food and the generous portions.
I have an amazing kitchen staff. We have Chef Alfonso Valencia running our kitchen, and he takes a lot of pride. This establishment's been here over 60 years, and People have come here with their grandparents, and now they come here as grandparents.
Elizabeth Killian says the secret to running this successful business is caring about the customers.
We serve some people every day, you know, sometimes twice a day.
Let me tell you something.
He knows how to handle
You probably shouldn't eat pancakes every day, but if you eat pancakes, you should have these. You make an exception. You come in here and you have these pancakes.
Yummy.
You got to get this. You have to get this.
Local honey, anyone? Raw organic honey and some of the bees who make it are on display here at Marshall's Farm. It's a small farm where you can browse through a gift shop, see bees where they live, and try some of the honey that goes from hive to bottle right here on site.
When you're ready to try honey, you go to the honey house right here on the property. They have all kinds of local honey inside the door for you to try.
You can taste for free. Many say local honey helps with allergies. All I can say is it tastes delicious. Just down the block, I also tried a French bakery, attracting tourists and locals alike. It's the Le Paris Artisan Gourmet Cafe. Here you can get French classics like almond croissants and French baguettes. You can also find delicious seasonal fruit tarts, cannolis, and more. And if you want a sandwich, it comes on delicious bread or a fresh croissant. But in my opinion, you should try the specialty creations here that classically trained French chef Jay Marzano developed himself. This crow puff, which is a combination of a cream puff and croissant, solves the problem of a soggy cream puff by making the outside a crunchy and flaky croissant.
The regular cream puff, I make it into a croissant dough. So it's a different version, but the feeling is the same. So we make it fresh daily, hand cut, and then hand pipe. So it's moist inside and then crunchy outside.
And there's the macaroons. This purple one is filled with ube, which is a nod to the chef's Filipino heritage.
Everything is like a combination of French pastry, Asian, and then American. So you combine everything and you got Le Paris.
This is so good.
Yeah,
this is so good.
It's very light.
All right, well, they also make a pretty decent burger here at Junction Brewery, Grill and Brewery here. So the grill and the brewery are together. It makes them really, I mean, if it just was smell-o-vision, you'd be smelling the garlic. So they have plenty of good food here at Junction Brewery. So if you want to come by, you can come by and see live music and hang out with me. A little later on, we're going to talk to the brewmaster here at the brewery. Mike and Garcia?
Ah, very good. Never too early for garlic, and of course, never too early for beer. Sal, thank you.
Right about now, Steve, I could use a pint because in the last couple of minutes here, the temperature's jumped up a bit.
It is getting warm here, but Mike, if you can wait about 20 minutes, we have a little Pinot Noir for you.
Okay,
How would
take
that
it away.
work?
I love it.
All right, we were talking about this climate here in American Canyon, southern end of the Napa Valley, and joining me now is Julie Nord. And Julie, now you don't really have a winery, but you manage grapes, correct?
Correct.
How many grapes do you manage here in American Canyon, Napa County?
140 acres in American Canyon and about 700 in Napa.
And you sell, or you sell most of your grapes to?
To mums. So.
Mums, how about that?
Yes.
Now, but this is a cooler climate, so I take it you're growing more Pinot Noir, Chardonnay?
Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Merlot are our specialties out here.
Now, tell us how this climate is different than even, say, Carneros.
All right, so here we're lucky enough that Carneros, the fog rolls in off the ocean, but here we have Jameson Canyon where the wind comes through and it just pulls the fog away. So we actually stay cool, but we have more sun than Carneros.
Now, it is a little windy here. Does that impact you at all? Or I mean, it can be a wind tunnel here, right? But is that a factor or not?
It can be a wind tunnel. It takes a lot of management. So especially in the spring when the shoots are about 8 to 10 inches, the winds can come along and actually break the shoots. And so we actually had to lower our wires so we could catch the shoots in the wires earlier in the season than the other vineyards we have.
Now, but the nights cool off, because I know the Napa Airport can be very cool, and you're close to that, right? A lot of the vines are over there.
So the nights cool off here, but in the winter and spring, we don't get the frost because of the bay's warming fluence. So we don't have to have wind machines or sprinklers out here.
And as far as going, the average temperature here in the summertime, about maybe, 80 on the high side?
That's correct.
What about the low, into the 50s?
Yes.
And is that ideal for, say, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, in your mind, in your opinion?
It's great for it. In general, you want the 30 to 40 degree temperature change we have in Napa is what keeps the acid in the grapes, and that's one of the reasons we have such high quality here.
Okay, and you also brought a Pinot Noir, did you not?
I brought a Pinot Noir. Yes, I did.
Okay, and now do you sell majority to mums or to others as well? Is there anyone else you want to mention?
For American Canyon, the majority is to Mum, but we also sell to Duckhorn.
I've heard of them.
And to Mayo Family Winery and to Stags Leap.
Wow, some heavy hitters in there.
That's right. It's good wine.
Now the Pinot, we can bring that in here if you want. This is a 2004. Now this is, you don't really do it, but you did this bottle yourself, right?
Oh yeah, I'm going to jump in right here.
Sorry about that, guys.
I'll be the responsible adult here. I'll remind her the three of you.
Let's jump in here. That's a 15-year-old Pinot here. Nice nose. Nice nose.
Beautiful. Thank you. So it has a number of different clones. That's how we get the variation in flavor from one location.
Okay.
Incredible.
Now should we breathe a little bit, or is it ready?
It's ready.
It's ready.
It's ready. Okay.
It's all good.
You guys go ahead and take a sip. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you.
As you guys savor the tastes of American Canyon and the region, we're having fun here. Also behind us, there's hundreds and hundreds of people. Frank Malacote is out there talking. We've had cheerleaders, a bouncy house, a slide, firefighters. Frank, who have you found now?
Well, you know, if I can go down a roller coaster right down the street in Vallejo, I can certainly go down in a bounce out. You guys ready? All right, here we go. Woohoo! All right. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Sweet. Wow, I may run for mayor here. Barry, come on in here real quick. I have Barry Christian. He's been a resident how many years here?
30 years.
30 years. He loves it. You were a deputy in San Francisco.
Deputy sheriff, yeah.
And you made your home here. Tell us why. What's so special about this town?
Oh, it's a great community, very diverse, as you can see, very family friendly. City council's engaged with all the people. They're very engaged with their community, very supportive. Good schools, nice weather. We've got some wetlands trails. We're working on extending those. We've got a preserve up in the hills that was donated by the Newell family in 1999, so we can go hiking up there. Just a friendly place, a great place to live.
And you know what? There is a great spirit here, right, guys?
Yeah!
Need I say more? American Canyon rocks. Back to you.
It's a beautiful morning.
If you want to meet the heart of American Canyon, just hop in the car with Fran Lima.
It's big and it's roomy, but I have to have the windows down because the air conditioner's not working.
Fran's been living here since well before American Canyon was American Canyon.
It was nothing.
It was
nothing.
It was nothing.
Literally.
Because you've been here for how many years in that house?
70 years.
70 years. And so when you moved into that house, where were you? You were living in technically Vallejo.
But even then, Fran knew this area was destined for something more.
We wanted to be our own destiny. You know, we were tired of being the stepchild of Napa. So what we did is incorporate. It took 3 times to incorporate, but we did that.
Fran is well known for her unofficial tours.
I don't get anything out of it except satisfaction of letting people know how wonderful our city is.
On our tour, she brought her friend Beth. You will often find these two at city council meetings.
I like to know what's going on, so.
But sometimes those are not well attended, you know?
No, there's only Beth and I.
Sometimes there's only the two of you. But you'll be there.
But we're there, and they like to see us.
Fran took us to her special spots.
Now this is Oat Hill. I'm going to take you to Cookie Hill.
Which always came with a view and some history.
Over there is Vintage Ranch, all those houses over there. Vallejo is on the other side of the hill. I see the old Tribotech building, which is now a winery kind of a thing.
And in the growing industrial parks.
This is Coca-Cola, the back of it.
She can pretty much name every company.
This is all wine industry. Oh, we also have chocolate.
And even though she doesn't walk the wetlands, she loves how popular they have become.
People go out there with their dogs on leashes, and it's always...
Feels like a little secret back here, because you got to know how to find it.
Also, this wetlands goes all the way through the whole city. It goes through the whole city of American Canyon.
But she seemed most excited by our last stop, because she believes the future of this city is found in the ruins.
We call it the ruins because it's ruins.
It's ruins.
This is the old cement plant that during the earthquake in San Francisco, they supplied all the cement for the city. This is going to be the town center. They're going to use these arches. They're going to, up in the hill there, there's a slide hill. They're going to build a hotel. It's only been 14 years in the making, but it's been approved.
Oh, no time at all.
Fran will tell you this is a huge property.
Beth, go stand over there. Take her picture over there. Look at how little she looks.
She looks tiny, yes. So the graffiti is part of it. That's not a...
Graffiti is part of it. It really is. And for years, people came out and did their thing there.
For Fran, it is all about what can be.
We're going to be on the map with this building when it gets built.
See this city through her eyes, and you see a city that has been well loved. Maybe most of all by Fran.
And your birthday's next month?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
July 29th, and I'm having a party.
You're having a party.
I'm having a party.
Because you're going to be
90.
90 years young.
90 years.
And you can bet that party will be thrown in American Canyon. Claudine Wong, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Man, we should come back for that party in
No
July.
kidding.
Because I can
My
only
goodness.
imagine a cake
The
glowing with 90 candles and Fran's face on top. So congratulations to you, Fran Lemos, 90 years strong here in
congratulations.
American
Speaking of birthdays, I do
Yes.
want to have a birthday shout out right now to someone who works for the city. His name's Brian Matern, and he is actually the superintendent of public works for the city of American Canyon. He is turning 56 today.
Yes.
His wife Jennifer reached out to me and wanted to give a shout out. So happy birthday to you, Brian. I wish we had your picture. We don't have it apparently, but hopefully the shout out works for you. His wife says that he's very hardworking and is dedicated and proud of American Canyon. So happy birthday to you, Brian.
They are a beautiful family. So, so far here at American Canyon at the community park, we have talked to the mayor. We've seen the police mascot Lobo. We have seen the life-size R2-D2. There's another very important figure here in the city of American Canyon, and that is BREWMASTER. And
Any city you go to where there is a brewmaster,
Mayor,
that is an
police
important
chief,
person.
BREWMASTER. So Sal Castaneda is out at Junction Brewery and Grill talking to the BREWMASTER in just a minute as we continue our zip trip in American Canyon. Belinda Carlisle did it first in the early 80s, and here we hear PDA, the public display of a cappella, the sound of American Canyon High School's a cappella group singing "Heaven is a Place on Earth," and it's a good thing that they're right next to us because we're in a little tiny piece of heaven right here in American Canyon, the first town you hit when you go up to Napa County.
I'll tell you what, that song brings back a lot of memories, and I would say I wouldn't admit that I liked that song back in the early 80s.
Loved it.
But I admit it
Oh,
now. I like it. I'm okay with it. I like that song. Belinda Carlisle is a good musician.
Singing along in my mind as they were starting in the commercial break.
One thing I've always wanted to do is brew my own beer.
Okay.
And my wife's against it right now. I'm working on it. We'll get there someday. Someday, I will brew my own beer eventually. But it's always good to know the brewmaster in town. Let's get back to Sal right now, and I know you have a special guest with you, Sal.
That's right, Mike. If you want to brew your own beer, I have a guy that you can talk to here. We're at Junction Brewery and Grill here in beautiful American Canyon. We're inside now at the bar. These people are just kind of hanging out. And I want to bring in our brewmaster here. The brewmaster here, his name is Donald Payne. Don, you have a history with Moylan's and Stillwater. You helped found those.
Yes, I did. Back in 2002, we started distilling and making whiskeys, brandies, and spirits, working with breweries.
Yeah, I've been to Moylan's in Nevada. It's a great place. So
yeah, so we use their wash to make a whiskey. So that's why we call it a Moylan's whiskey. And from there, I moved into brewing for other people as well as other projects for many people.
Okay, so the beer that you make here is, you make beers here that people want to drink. So part of it is you're making IPAs because IPAs are popular. What else are you making?
We're making we have a Cal Common and a Pale Ale, as well as we do American wheat beers, something that we could, drink a few, not being so high in alcohol. We're trying to be, social beers.
Right. They call them session beers. So have you noticed the trend in brewing here and what people ask you for when they come in?
Yeah, it's in American Canyon. It seems like a lighter beer, something that's easier to drink, so they could spend some time instead of having something so strong. So we've been focusing on, we have lagers and something under 6%. As well as we have stronger beers from other people, so we make, quite a few things.
Great. Well, Don, thank you so much for joining us, showing us. If you want to have a good beer, by the way, I did try the burgers and the wings, and they are excellent. So if you want to taste the town, this is a spot you should stop at. Let's go back to you guys.
All right.
All right, give me a growler, Sal. Give me a growler.
I will.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. Thank you, Sal. We are stunned by the turnout we are getting here at Community Park in American Canyon. Hundreds and hundreds of people, and they just keep coming, and a lot of that is because people here in American Canyon recognize how important their parks are. So let's bring in the head of the Community and Parks Foundation in American Canyon. Good morning to you, Janelle Selleck.
Good morning. Hi.
Parks are a huge part of this town. Tell me why.
Absolutely. Well, we're very lucky here in town. We are one of the local regional destinations for outdoor beauty. Our wetlands are some of the closest access you can get to water. It's amazing to be able to live right on our wetlands and then also hike and bike and jog and bring the family out, bring your dogs out. So to be surrounded by that much natural beauty and to be able to access it so easily is really special.
I know you rely a lot on fundraising, on donations, but I also love in my reading of the nonprofit that you really encourage families to get their children to put down the screens.
Yes.
Get out and enjoy the parks that you have here.
Yes, absolutely. Our Screen Time to Green Time campaign was really born out of both a personal issue. I have 4 daughters, and then also a societal issue. More and more, not just kids, but families. We spend a lot of time on devices, and there's so much physical, emotional, social benefit to getting outdoors. Right. The bottom line is we all feel better when we spend time outside, and so we're here to support families, support kids, encourage everyone to put the screen down, go outside, and spend some time together.
All right, let's talk about 4th of July coming up. You guys have an incredible program. Starts with a hike. It involves hot cocoa and ends with fireworks.
Absolutely. So we hike about a half a mile up into our Newell Open Space Preserve, which is a family-friendly trail. It's beautiful. We can see 4, 5, 6 fireworks shows, as well as some little local fireworks that are happening. And so once we get up to the top, that's when we serve the snacks. And not only do we see the fireworks, but beforehand we get to watch the sunset too. So it's absolutely
real quick, you want to talk about the reindeer run too, right?
Yeah, so Reindeer Run this year on December 7th, it's a 5K, 10K run. It benefits the foundation. It also benefits Cope International, another local nonprofit. So we get about 300 runners that come out, and it's a 5K, 10K run walk, open to anyone. Families are welcome, kids, even dogs on leash.
I love it.
Yep.
All right, Janelle Selleck, we appreciate your time. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
For American Canyon and for the parks here.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Of course, our pleasure. There's so much more to highlight from right here in American Canyon on the Zip Trip, so stay with us. Welcome back to the 94503. Our Zip Trip has taken us to American Canyon today. I know you're around town here an awful lot, Steve Paulson.
I'm near here. How's that?
You're near.
I know you talk about the friendly people. We obviously have experienced that this morning. What else though about this area?
You're close to Napa. I mean, within 20 minutes you can be up there on a good day.
On a good day.
You know, you got to get past 116, 29, get past that, and get home by 2:30 because it can be a real mess there.
I mean, when you think about all the people in the world that actually want to come to Napa County,
you know,
this is in their backyard.
That's
American
a great
Canyon,
point.
right?
Sometimes when you go up there, I always ask, where are you from? All over the place. Yeah. And sometimes you have to realize how lucky you are to be this close. It doesn't matter if it's Sonoma, Napa, you know, any of the wine countries. We're very fortunate to be here.
I always tell my children, whenever we're up in Napa or anywhere, people save their whole lives to come here for a week, and this is in our backyard.
Well, that's true. Sometimes I have to put that in perspective. It's like, I think I'll run up to, 20 minutes, I'm there.
You know what I like? I like the breeze that I'm starting to feel here.
Me too.
If we were here Wednesday, a lot of this would have ended up by the Napa airport. I mean, it gets windy here, but this is a perfect perfect day in American Canyon.
So the fact that I'm sweating, this about we don't
You're a
get the
little
extreme...
protected by the building, but I think if you go around the corner of that breeze, you'll feel it. It'll be cooling down.
You know, it's funny though. You go maybe 15 miles to the north, or even 10 miles to the north, and you're roasting.
You go from American Canyon to say Napa Airport, then to town, then you start going to Yountville.
Yeah.
You get up to Rutherford, St. Helena, Calistoga. Huge difference.
About one last 5 day here.
One last 5 day, a little warmer, Mike, as we go in. I know you like that.
Everywhere, yeah.
Everywhere, yeah. The coast will probably be a little fogged in, but inland temps will start to get back to near average, which is about 85 to 88. We've been unseasonably cool.
Yeah. Summertime, man.
Summertime
in the Bay Area, and doing our zip trips all around town. You know, first it was Livermore, then it was down in Campbell, and now here we are.
How about that, up north
American
now?
Canyon. You know?
Yes.
I just love, as you said, the people. It is, as soon as I drove in,
super nice.
Shaking your hand.
Yes.
Right? Not just saying hi or whatever. They want to come meet you.
Right.
I love that about it.
Right. There was a lady behind me. She came up with a big old bag of lumpia. She's like, random acts of lumpia. I said, I will take it. Thank you, American Canyon, for such a gorgeous Friday morning. South City, you watch out, because we're going to come to you next. We'll find our way to Clayton, Fremont. The zip trips continue, and we have to give you one last taste of my favorite part of American Canyon High School, the a cappella group, PDA, public display of a cappella. Thank you for joining us on what has been another wonderful zip trip.
Have
this
a
time
great weekend,
American
everyone,
Canyon.
and a happy early 4th of July.
Just like a moth drawn to a flame. Oh, you lured me in, I couldn't sense the pain. Oh.